everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm April Honey, and today I'm going to be decorating Ioni's area. This is the last speed build of my island, you guys. So we have Ioni's house, and in front of it I made this crescent moon pond because I thought it really suited her, and she is just such a cute little glowy queen, and I wanted to give her just this really pretty ethereal area to kind of match the vibe that she gives off. It's really hard to make it in blue because there's no, like, blue glowing moss, and I really wanted to use the glowing moss, so I went ahead and kept it with the green and the yellow, and I really like these colors. The whole island is blue, so I figured it wouldn't do much harm to just kind of change it up a little bit right here. And we used some ruined items and glowing items and just kind of put together this little area for her, and I really love the way it came out. It was just so much fun, and she is so cute. I love Ioni. She's like my second favorite villager, so this area was really nice. It took me forever to figure out how to make that little island in the middle, but after a while I did get it eventually. And I actually love the way it came out, which I can't often say about anything that I build. I try to say it. I try to be positive about what I'm building, but very often at the end I'm like, it's okay. But eventually it all kind of works itself out, and I think that this build did as well. We're going to change that yellow clock because I feel like that yellow is kind of just looking a little too yellow on top of the yellow, if you know what I mean. I think we're going to change it out for a green. Yep. And just keep going along. This build is very kind of basic in the way that the items that we use are going to be pretty much the same throughout it, which I don't think there's a problem with. Honestly, if you guys are ever worried about like using repetitive items, it doesn't always look repetitive when you're doing a certain area, as long as it's not like the whole island made up of one build. It doesn't usually get repetitive or anything like that. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Every now and again I do worry about it, but today wasn't that day, and I'm kind of glad because it did come out really cute. I did go over there literally just to put a bush down because I remembered they existed. And then I had to let myself out because that's how we roll here. I get myself stuck all the time. I don't know if anybody else does, but I am the worst about getting myself stuck. So I'm going to ignore the fact that the only flower I'm using here is the mums, so they're going to be right next to each other sometimes. And I'm going to have to ignore the way that that bothers me because that's just kind of the way it goes. And then I wanted to take this wall back a little bit because I wanted to use some castle items right here. And the best way to do that is to kind of make an indenture in the land and everything. So I wanted to do that to give the castle items a place to be. And then, that way I can build around them, kind of cover it up a little bit. But it looks like it's embedded into the cliff, and I like the way that looks. So that was the look we were going for. And I just wanted to cover this cliff with the medieval castle walls. It's going to be like kind of an ethereal sort of area, but I wanted her to have a castle because, she's Ioni. I wanted her to have her own like kind of structure. So I went ahead and built up in front of it. And can we just talk about the fact that this island is done? Like, the next thing you're going to see from this island is an island map and a tour. Like, that's it, you guys. This island isn't finished. I loved it so much. It was so much fun to build. And by now, you're probably seeing me working on Rags to Riches, which I love a good challenge. Don't get me wrong. A good challenge is so much fun to me. So I'm sure that that is a blast. But I'm sure that's where I'm going to be by the time you guys see this. And I'm a little bit sad that this island is no more and it will be done. And quite honestly, okay, so if I tell you what really happens, I don't actually delete my islands. They just kind of go to my computer because I have a modded switch. So at the end, when I save my dream address, I go and I put the island on my modded switch and I transfer it to my computer so that the actual build of the island kind of lives on forever, even when the island is gone. So if I ever wanted to get in there and maybe adjust a custom design and reuse it, I could totally do that. And I know that sounds like in a little bit extra, but I work so hard on custom designs and I don't want to lose them all. So yeah, that's what I end up doing. I know it's terrible and I'm sorry, but I'm sure you can understand my reasoning. So I don't know why that straight cliff was bothering me so much. It wasn't really doing anything to anyone. It wasn't hurting anyone. It was just there minding its own business. And for some reason, it really bugged me and I didn't want it there. So I went and I took that sucker down and put a vine on it. I just think the vines add so much to the cliffs, especially on an island like this, where there's a lot of nature. And I love the way that looks. So yeah, we're just adding stuff that no one is going to see, and that's totally fine. I do it all the time. I feel like if anyone's going to run by or like maybe tilt their camera a certain way, then they might see it, and therefore I should decorate it. So, and of course I had to give Ioni a little seating area, and now we're going to decorate the beach next to her house. This was the only beach that I didn't do in my beaches video because I knew I wanted to make it a part of this build. This build I saved for last because I was the most excited about it. I hate interiors, so I did my interiors before I did Ioni's house, and I kind of went and rewarded myself for doing the interiors with this build right here. So I was like, I'm gonna finish everything, but I'm going to leave this one build, and if I finish everything and if I have a fully decorated house, then I'm gonna reward myself and let myself build this last little thing. And I have to say that bribery to oneself does work. It does. And I do recommend it because, you know, what better motivation to have, right? I love the glowing moss pond and I just wanted to use it somewhere. It probably doesn't belong here. Do I care? Probably not. I just really wanted to use it, and I wanted to place down a bunch of glowing moss around it and even weeds. And we just used the last of everything we had on this one little area right here. And pretty much that was it. Like, I'm gonna put my last party light arch up of the island, which is wild, and a ruined arch, and then we're gonna call it. That is going to be everything. I know I put stuff on the ground behind this, and then I covered it up with the arch and the two arches and everything, but it's fine, you know. It's layered. It's okay. You'll see it maybe if you run by and you look everywhere. I don't know. I have this bad habit of wanting to decorate absolutely every square inch of my island. I don't know why the idea of empty space kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety. But here it is. Here's how it looks during the day, and here's how it looks at night. I love the way this area came out. Hopefully you guys like it too. I thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I know you could be doing absolutely anything in the entire world, and you choose to spend a little bit of your time here with me. I hope that's never something that you consider to be wasted time, and I love you, and I hope everyone has an amazing day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.